What's going on, y'all? It's your boy No Credit. Back again with another one. I need you guys to do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification icon for more videos like this. That being said, let's get into it. Canelo Alvarez is a walking contradiction, man. This guy's a walking contradiction. Like, how does Canelo say he won't get credit for fighting a smaller guy, but then is willing to fight any other smaller guy? He also says he won't get credit for fighting Benavidez because Benavidez hasn't beat anybody, but he's okay with moving up in weight to 175 and fighting Bivol, a guy who didn't really beat anybody before he fought Canelo. He's definitely a walking contradiction, and it's bad for the sport of boxing because if this fight doesn't happen, it's a bad look on Canelo. And Canelo should be mad at himself, but he won't care. You know, he feel like he accomplished a lot in the sport already. But majority of the guys he beat were all guys older than him. These were big names, but they were all older than him. You know, he has always been a younger man. So when the history books are written, they're going to say Canelo beat a lot of past his prime fighters. They're not going to say Canelo fought these guys when they were in their prime. They're going to say Canelo fought a lot of guys who were past their primes when those history books are written. But anyway, I want to get into more depth when it comes to Canelo versus Crawford. Guys, I'm a boxing fan first, but I'm also a fighter. Now, as a fighter, if I'm 3 weight classes above a small guy, and a small guy keeps calling me out, I'm going to teach that small guy that weight classes are there for a reason. This is what Canelo Alvarez should have been in a hurry to do the moment Terence Crawford was saying, I'll go up and fight Canelo. I'll meet him at a catch weight. Canelo said, you know what? If he comes to 168, I'll fight him. They asked Crawford, are you willing to go to 168? At first, Crawford said, you know what, that's too much weight. But then he realized how much of a challenge it is and what's at stake. And he says, absolutely, I'll go up to 168 to accommodate the bigger man, Canelo Alvarez. Canelo, seeing the interview, does another interview, and he says, I'll get no credit for beating Terence Crawford. It makes no sense to fight him, which makes absolutely no sense what Canelo is saying, because it makes all the sense in the world to fight him. You know, last fight was against a guy at 154, from 154, who came up 2 weight classes. And guess what? Canelo couldn't stop him. That makes it even more interesting, because the entire boxing world know that Charlo isn't on Terence Crawford level. If y'all didn't know that before, at least y'all know that now. Jermell Charlo isn't on Terence Crawford level. Man, he's not even on Earl Spence's level. And Canelo went 12 rounds with that guy. David Benavidez situation. Canelo demanded $150 million to $200 million to fight David, a guy who Canelo Alvarez said doesn't bring anything to the table. Yet he's demanding that much money to fight that man. And he's also avoiding a small guy who will have to move up 3 weight classes to fight you. Bro, if I'm the best fighter at a higher weight class, and a small fighter is 3 weight classes below me, calling me out. As a fighter, I'm going to tell him, I'm going to call his bluff and show him that weight classes are there for a reason. This is what boxing fans are saying. They're saying Canelo needs to call Terence Crawford's bluff. Show us that weight classes is there for a reason. Don't tell us, because we're stubborn. We don't want you to tell us. We want you to show us that weight classes is there for a reason. You telling us that weight classes is there for a reason is not really doing nothing for us. We want to see it. We want to see it. We want you to show us. We want you to remind us. Give us that same fight you gave us with American, where American was winning the fight and you knocked them out. If you do that against Crawford, nobody will ever question Canelo Alvarez and say, man, Canelo Alvarez is ducking this guy, he's ducking that guy, he's ducking a small fighter, he's ducking a big fighter. You fought Dimitri Bivol at 175. You has fought as high as 175. As far as I'm concerned, we know Benavidez is a 168-pound fighter. He's finally moving up in weight. You moved up to 75 before Benavidez. So it's not adding up. He won't fight Benavidez for size, but he'll fight Bivol, who's at 175. It's not making sense. He won't fight Terence Crawford because Crawford's too small. He'll get no credit. But yet he'll fight Jermell Charlo, a guy who wasn't really respected like that, who isn't a pound-for-pound great king. It's not really adding up. Some of the stuff Canelo Alvarez be saying is very contradicting to anything that's really going on in the sport of boxing. And if you're a true boxing fan, you will call Canelo out on his bullshit. But if we don't get this fight, Canelo versus Bud, honestly, is a stain on Canelo's legacy, in my opinion. Because this is a fight, despite all of Canelo fights, we know he had the Mayweather fight, but this Crawford fight will put Canelo into another stratosphere. Small or not, this is the biggest fight to make in the sport of boxing, and Canelo needs to realize that.